if you try the prehistoric diet, the weight comes off, plus you'll have all this wonderful life-giving nutrition, which is giving you all this energy. And then with simple exercising, as I mentioned, the body will tone up first. So you get all the diet off, all this weight off, and if the body is toned up, then you can go to a gym. And if you want to spend $1,200 or more for a gym, great, and you'll probably get tremendously muscular. That's great. But the prehistoric diet, the results are just amazing, amazing. So, to summarize here, so what is the prehistoric diet? Well, it's utilizing the human instinct to partake in nature's diet, and it took 20 million years to perfect just for us. My journey through the years of diet-related problems amounts to the simple realization, and I'll state it again, to be the person that nature intended us to be. We are part of the animal kingdom. We're not above it. Nature provided all the nutrition for its inhabitants. Now, would you feed, many of you may have a pet, a cat or a dog. Would you feed your cat or your dog or your bird pizza or pastas or cheesecake or a bowl of soft drinks? No, because you love your pets. Well, why do we think that we're above it? Why would we eat that? My book, The Prehistoric Diet, codifies, because it's a brief book, this miraculous diet. I've included in the discussion, in my book, a discussion of dairy products, soy products, diet food plans, energy drinks, and a lot more. A lot of it will surprise you. Also, you're going to find a lot of my favorite recipes. And since printing the book, I've come up with even more. And the beauty of this is that there's really such an abundance of food out there, good food out there, that you're going to start making your own recipes. It's really endless. My diets include soups, hot soups, cold soups, entrees, desserts. I have non-dairy sauces. And so I have a tremendous list there of foods that we should partake in and foods that we should definitely stay away from. So here's the big payoff of the prehistoric diet. You're going to lose all the weight you need to, according to the determination of nature. You can eat as much as you want and whenever you want, and you will never be hungry. You will look and feel years younger. Your energy level will be higher than you've ever had, than you've ever imagined. Your body and muscle tone will be much better than ever. Your body digestive system will have tremendous regularity, which again is very important. It's that free-flowing system. You're going to think clearer and faster than you ever have. You will have a tremendous sense of well-being and self-esteem that will make every aspect of your life better than ever. You will have all this without pills, expensive gizmos, needless surgeries, or medications. So there is a truism. In order to make change in your life, you have to change, and the prehistoric diet will change your life. It's changed mine. Yes, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Let your body flow freely as it was meant to do, and that flow will be your fountain of youth. The prehistoric diet is our inheritance. So you know what? Let's use it wisely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay. That was fabulous, and I love it that you did the full cycle of the where you were to where you are now, and the hope and the spreading of enthusiasm for it. A couple of questions I came up when you were a kid. Did they ever check you for your food allergies and or your home environment? And you did bring out some of that in your talking. Because I'm allergic, and we had dogs. We didn't have cats, but we had dogs, and I was allergic to the food and the environment. What did they ever find that in you?
Right. When I was a child, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I went to the Leahy Clinic in Boston, and they gave me a series of 60 injections on my back. Mm-hmm. And according to each injection was to represent a possibility of what I was allergic to. Well, certainly there are a lot of things that I was allergic to. It came up. The beauty, again, of the diet is that it reinforces you, that you're able to ward off the effects of a lot of outside triggers. Obviously, there are foods that I shouldn't have. We're all individuals. There are foods that we shouldn't have. But there are foods that nobody should have, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I think gluten is a real problem. Gluten. Now, if you take the term gluten, to me, it came to me one night, gluten. All right, so I went back into my childhood, and I said, how do we make paste when we were kids, when we did those things for nursery school? It was flour and water. It made paste. It made glue. Well, okay, that glue is in our products. Pizza, pastas, pastries, a lot of these refined breads. It's in our foods. So you're taking this glue, you're throwing it into your bodies. It's causing that blockage. It's festering there, and it's causing all these problems. So I don't believe anybody should have that. I have a very big issue with dairy. Mm-hmm. I think that we're nature. The only dairy that we should be having is mother's milk. That's what nature intended. Now, a camel doesn't drink the milk of a cow. A cow doesn't drink the milk of a monkey. So what are we doing drinking the milk of other species? We're taking in their toxins. It's ludicrous. The whole thing is ludicrous. But it became an industry. First you had Adam and Eve. They're walking around in the Garden of Eden, and there's something to that. There's a metaphor to that. God provided, or the universe provided, nature provided, all the nutrition that we needed. It was around us. We found it. Then you had the agricultural revolution, and that was the first processing of food. Then the problems started. Then more diseases started. Then dental health went down. Then bone density went down. And it just got worse and worse and worse as time went on. We're not eating the way that nature told us to eat. I mean, nature provided us. Nature is perfect. And if we're messing it up, we're messing up our bodies.
J.D., you've hit on a very good point with the animals and humans. We have had people on that have shared that if you put out in the livestock feed bin, the GMO prepared grain and the grain that's not been touched, the animals will never go near the GMO food. Also, they will not eat wheat. When I learned that as a young adult, that animals, the horses, will not eat wheat because they know it will make them sick. For just what you said. And what do we use in all our pasta? You can't get anything without wheat or wheat germ or wheat byproduct or wheat whatever, and it's the worst thing for your body. It's very debilitating for me.
Very debilitating. Well, it's debilitating, and it goes back to that story that I told you about the woman that came into my store, that her son was having all these reactions to gluten. Yep. And I don't believe anybody should have it. And I don't believe anybody should have dairy products. I think they're both poison. Now, the healthiest people in the world, and I discuss all this in the book. And by the way, please, everybody, if you have a chance, please look at my website. It's www.theprehistoricdiet.com. That's theprehistoricdiet.com. And we have a lot more information there, and we're continuously putting more information. And also, if you care to obtain the book, you can from the website, or you can from Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble. But I think basically the website is the best way to go. There's just so many answers out there that just nature can provide for us.
Well, it's interesting about the milk. Dr. Caldwell last week shared with us how bad milk was for us for the same premise you're using. It's the cow for the baby cow. We're not a baby cow. But also with milk, they found after the Second World War, when they brought powdered milk over to the Europeans who were starving and all the bad environment they had after World War II, they had massive diarrhea problems because of milk.
Yes. What I wanted to mention also, I'm sorry I got off track, was the healthiest people in the world are from the Far East, from Japan and from Korea. And they have no dairy in their diet.
That's right. and they have no GMO in their diet. How did that happen?